Here, I have some personally handwritten notes. As you can see, I have slightly different forms of handwriting depending on how fast or how slow I write. Now, the first question I always ask myself when I look at my handwriting is, what the heck did I just write? As you can see here, my writing isn't all that legible, especially when I write pretty fast. But another question I found asking myself is, what does my writing say about me as a person? Can someone tell anything about my personality based on my handwriting? Well, today's an interesting day to ask yourself this question because it happens to be Handwriting Day. It's an unofficial holiday to commemorate the birth anniversary of John Hancock, an American founding father and the first person to sign the Declaration of Independence. Now, Mr. Hancock's signature is one of the most recognizable, at least here in America. And judging by his signature, can you tell anything at all about his personality? Well, who knows? Supposedly, if you're a graphologist or studying the field of graphology, then yes, according to them, you can. Now, what is graphology? It is basically the study or practice of identifying a person's personality traits based on their handwriting. Now, this differs from forensic document examination, whereas in forensic document examination, that is the profession to analyze documents to determine the origin or its authenticity. So, how exactly can you tell a person's characteristics based on their handwriting alone? In 1919, Dr. Hugo J. von Haven, president of the American Graphological Society, published this work, Graphology: How to Read Character from Handwriting, a textbook for experts, students, and laymen, just like me. This manual goes into depth on what to look for when someone's writing to determine their different personality traits. So let's just take a look at some examples given here. First, the height or the size of someone's writing. If someone has large letters, this means that they're aristocratic or noble-minded. If they have extremely large letters, as you can see here, this means that they're conceited or egotistical. Now, it's someone who has small letters, for example, means here they're preoccupied with the details, segregated from their fellow men as well. Another example to look at here is round and angular writing. So, smooth and round writing supposedly means that you're jovial, easygoing, you're a good conversationalist, and very peace-loving in nature. Whereas conversely, if you have very sharp corners and points, this means you're energetic, serene, but it also means you're stern, cold, and a hard-hearted person. Let's take a look at another example real quick. Wide and narrow writing. Now, according to this, broad and wide writing means you're very free and a very more liberal and generous person, as opposed to skimpily handwritten writing means that you're stingy, avaricious, and overall a miserable person. So these are just a few examples of the writing context Dr. Hagen analyzes to determine someone's characteristics. Now, this article does not analyze John Hancock's writing, so let's take a look at another important American historical figure's handwriting, President Abraham Lincoln, to see what his handwriting says about him. So, this is Abraham Lincoln's handwriting. It is a letter written to some senator whose name I cannot make out, but the only thing I can make out is it says executive manner written in May of 1862. So if you look at the T's right here, there's a reason that I highlighted those. So if we scroll down to see what is analyzed in Lincoln's writing, for his long, forceful T dashes indicate not only energy, enterprise, and protectiveness, but deep thinking and precision. His downward signature is an indication that he was inclined to depreciate his own achievements, persevering, however, with a determination that was not easily lessened. And economy is a very pronounced trait, simply because, as you can see earlier in his writing, it's very compact. He doesn't waste a lot of paper or a lot of space. Here are some other just principal characteristics that stand out according to Lincoln's handwriting. His perseverance, economy, energy, enterprise, combativeness, activity, aggressiveness, and much more, as you can see there. Now, if we take a look at his signature, according to Dr. Hagen, his signature is very simple, strong, sincere, and energetic, highlighting Abraham Lincoln. Now, there's something to note. According to Dr. Hagen, the best forms of writing to analyze are intimate and personal letters that are written in ink on a plain piece of paper. So, what does this say about my handwriting? Well, based on what I've read, it says that I'm a cold, stern, stingy person segregated from my fellow people. But is any of that actually true? Well, in my case, yes, but it's just a coincidence. But according to most people, graphology is not true. It is not a science. Clinical neurologist Dr. Stephen Novella breaks it down best in his blog, Neurologica blog, stating, there is no scientific evidence base to support it. And he quotes a graphologist himself who says, quote, I have no idea how, but it works. Now here is a handwritten script from Dante Alighieri, the author of the Divine Comedy. Now, according to Meredith Dekalb Miller, an FBI trained and certified private document examiner, here they would uh, examine this document to see if it has been destroyed or altered in any way, examine the different various types of signatures to determine a forgery or alterations, all using a scientific methodology. I may not be destined to be a stern and cold person for the rest of my life, but is there any way to improve my handwriting? There is. The Writing Instrument Manufacturers Association, the sponsors of Handwriting Day, have plenty of resources available to help improve your writing, from writing lessons, journaling tips, worksheets, lesson plan ideas, and much more. Their goal is to promote the overall interest of the writing instrument industry. So celebrate today by using your favorite writing instruments to be creative. Thank you to timeanddate.com for their awesome list of fun holidays celebrated here in the US. Thank you to Dr. Hugo J. Von Haven for his published work. Thank you to Dr. Stephen Novella for his article on graphology in his blog. Thank you to Meredith Dekalb Miller for her expertise on forensic document examination. And thank you to the Writing Instrument Manufacturers Association for sponsoring Handwriting Day. If any of this piqued your interest, please go to their websites. The links are in the description below. Thank you for watching.